Today, on the VinceEverettEllison show, we beat him. We put Satan back on his heels. Yeah. And I'm a happy man today. I'm going to tell you how we beat him and why we beat him. So join in so you can find out how we beat him today on the VinceEverettEllison show. All right, let's get this thing started. You know, that was a great movie that I watched about 20 years ago called Carlito's Way. Very good movie. Al Pacino was in it. About this gangster guy in prison. To give him a second chance. He was trying to go straight. Just trying to get enough money to get out and go straight. But all these criminals just kind of stayed around him. And Carlito got into this altercation with this guy by the name of Billy Blanco from the Bronx. And him and Carlito got into it. Carlito took him to the back, and his man was telling Carlito, "We got to kill him. We got to kill him. We got to kill him." Carlito told me, "If you ever show your face around here again, you die just like that." Pushed him down the flight of stairs. And the guys told him, "Carlito, you got to take him out." But Carlito didn't want to do that no more. And at the end, Carlito kind of knew at the time he's messing up. He said, "When you can no longer see the angles, you're in trouble, baby. You're in trouble." I said all that to say this about the Democrats. We just pushed them down the flight of stairs in this election. They're wounded. Oh, they're not defeated. We got to finish it. Because if you watch Carlito's Way, you'll see what happened. Billy Blanco came back for Carlito. Yeah, he came back for him. What did Shaka Zulu say? Never leave an enemy alive. I hope Donald Trump and the rest of the Republicans know that, because I do. I'm not going to ease up off of these jokers. They still a cabal of perverts, liars, psychopaths, and anti-Christian bigots. And you know what? They still don't want to deal with why they lost. And I'm happy they don't want to deal with it, because we're going to beat them again. Bunch of perverts. Let me tell you how crazy they are. All right. Reason they lost. Number one reason they lost was LGBTQ. I've been telling these stupid Republicans and telling them for years, that's your one. Oh, they didn't want to do it. Here in the state of Virginia, they make me sick. Can't get them to run a hard campaign on it. Well, we don't want to cause division. Hell, man, this is war. You got to tell the people what's going on out there. They'll make up decisions for themselves. So the GOP reluctantly put out this commercial where they show Kamala Harris talking to this man in a dress, telling him that she's going to make sure that all people in federal prison who wanted sex change operations can get sex change operations free of charge. And they're saying that commercial tipped the whole election in Donald Trump's favor. And I'm saying, thank you. Give me a round of applause, because I've been telling you long runs this for the last 15 years, that this thing has a visceral effect on people, that they don't even know what's going on out there. And when they find out about it, they're going to turn away from the Democratic Party. But nobody would inform the American people about this. Only people in the know knew about it. Hell, they didn't tell people that Obamacare gave free sex change operations, free hormone therapy, free abortion. People didn't know it was going to do that. Oh, but the Democrats ain't changed. You think they learned their lesson? No. You know why? I got up yesterday morning. I'm minding my own business like I usually am. I look on the TV, and I got this little, well, I thought it was a girl, named Sarah McBride. And they had under there the first transgender person elected to Congress. I said, well, I'm sure she's a Democrat. And she was. So Sarah McBride is from Delaware. Sarah decided at some age to dead name itself. So I don't know what her original name was. So that name's dead. And then he decided that whatever appendage God had given him aggravated him. He decided he wanted to cut it off, and I don't know what he did with it. I don't know if they burned it or put it in the refrigerator and froze it or whatever, but he decided he didn't want it anymore. And because he did that, that made him a woman. I kind of thought it made him a eunuch. But no, he said it made him a woman. Well, then he decided, so he found this little guy by the name of Andrew Cray. Andrew is dead now, so I don't like speaking ill of the dead. But to just give you the facts, Andrew was an LGBTQ activist also. Now, Andrew went the other route. Andrew was a girl that decided he wanted to become a boy. So these two people met. Sarah McBride was a boy that wanted to become a girl. Y'all think I'm lying. Y'all think I'm making this up. And Andrew Craig was a girl that wanted to become a boy. And so Andrew Craig got cancer. And 3 weeks before, 3 weeks or 3 days before he died, they got married and then he passed away. And Andrew was rich, so she got all of his money. Yeah, y'all ain't making this up. So then now they want to parade this person on TV and say, this proves to you that the Democratic Party was right. I'm like, all right, y'all go ahead on and do that. Keep parading this little Sarah McBride person around, virtue signaling with her, and see how far they get you in the next election. I'm glad McBride won, to show you exactly how sick this party is. I'm not mad at Sarah McBride. It just reminds me from a scene from The Hunchback of Notre Dame when Quasimodo wanted to go to the festival. And they found the ugliest person. And they crowned that person the king of the festivals of fools. And they put a crown on his head and put him on a throne, and carried him around. And people cheered it. And Quasimodo thought that they were actually cheering him when they was making fun of it. That's how evil these people are. So instead of helping this young person, praying for him, sending them to counseling, nah, they're going to exploit him. Take him to the festivals of fools, which is the Democratic Party, and parade him around. Put them on display for the world to make fun of them. So I can't stand these people. They're evil and they're cruel. So let us pray for Sarah McBride. And that hopefully, like so many of these young people, she'll come to herself. He'll come to himself. And soul will be saved. And they'll live the life that God intended for them to live. But these Democrats are going to try to use this person to try to bring as many people over to the transgender LGBTQ lifestyle, as many young people as they possibly can. Sick bastards. They ought to be ashamed of themselves. But that's cool, though. Because as long as they do this stuff, we're going to beat them. We're going to beat them. They haven't learned yet, but they're going to learn. You know, they got this word. I don't know if y'all have heard of it. It's called Schadenfreude. It's a German word. I'm going to spell it for you. It spells Schadенfreude. Schadenfreude. Tell you what it means. Schadenfreude is the emotional experience of pleasure in response to another's misfortune. That means that you get happy when bad things happen to somebody else. Y'all, I'm experiencing a whole lot of Schadenfreude right about now with the Democrat Party losing. I am very happy to see this pack of perverts take a butt whooping. Because I've been waiting for this for a long time. Oh, man, they jumped on me. They did black ops campaigns on me, tried to destroy me, destroy my family. All of it. Oh, but they didn't win. And let me thank y'all, the subscribers and the people that watch this program. Y'all don't know this, but I'm going to tell you. They're going to try to take credit at the GOP for the black vote going to Trump getting a big part of the black vote, especially the male black vote. No, the GOP didn't do it. You know who did it? I did it. I did it. Other podcasters out there like me. April Chapman and the rest of them out there doing the hard work. Talking to the brothers and the sisters, telling them that this is an evil institution. That the black preachers that support them are apostate. Don't listen to them. Tell them about the iron triangle, most black preachers, most black politicians, most black civil rights workers. And it was enough to get Donald Trump and the GOP over the top. How much over the top you say? Well, I got the stats in front of me right here. Yeah, we got the stats. I got them right in front of me right here. So when you look at what happened, for instance, in the state of Georgia, Trump won Georgia by a little less than 100,000 votes, 50.7% to 48.5%. Trump won North Carolina. He did pretty well there, but he won North Carolina 287,000 votes to 2,878,000 to 2,688,000. But then it gets real close. Yeah, it gets real close. He won Pennsylvania 56.6%. So he won Pennsylvania by a little over 100,000 votes. Then he won Wisconsin by a little over 30,000 votes. And then he won Michigan by a little over 60,000 votes. Yo, those margins are margins that we put there. We put there. So give yourself a round of applause for having put these Democrats back on their heels, this evil institution, this cabal of perverts, lies, psychopaths, and anti-Christian bigots. My last video that went out right before the election about Barack and Big Mike, over 500,000 views. Yeah, it changed a lot of minds. And if it shows that I got 20,000 views or 30,000 views, I actually mean I got over 100,000 because more than one person watches it in their home. We're making an impact. Keep sharing. Keep commenting. And we're going to keep them on their heels. We ain't going to wait for the GOP to do it. Like I said before, the Democratic Party might be the evilest institution in the history of the world, and the Republicans got to be the stupidest. Joker ain't selling $1 for 50 cents. Got people out there running on killing babies. And that's another reason they lost. Kamala Harris out there gonna start her whole election and campaign in an abortion clinic. What do you want to do, Kamala, for the black people? I want to help you kill your babies. All of them. And she thought that was a good idea. Blood dripping from her mouth. I want to kill babies. And people said, okay. And she was so sick. She didn't know anything, didn't think anything was wrong with it. And then, gonna tell the little children that said Christ is king, you're at the wrong rally. Go to the one down the street. Oh, she gonna mock God in public. And then sit there and laugh. Yeah. Oh, she's feeling herself, wasn't she? Gonna kill babies. Gonna mock God in front of the world. And don't think she's gonna be held accountable? You see, she was held accountable, don't you? Oh, yes, she was. And all those no good black preachers held accountable right with her. Another reason she failed. They want to talk about toxic masculinity. Yeah, they want everybody to be a beta male, like our husband, Imhoff. As I said before, she married him, wouldn't take his name, couldn't have him any children, wouldn't take his religion, but gonna spend all of his money. That's who she want all of us to be, just like her old punk husband. Walking around behind her, called himself the second gentleman. And all these other punks around her, Roland Martin, all these old bisexual black preachers, they make me sick. All of them at the end crying, Van Jones crying, and I'm sitting there laughing. They is crying. Boy, I was shouting Freud all over the place. I was shouting Freud all the way to the bank. Oh, they crying, wiping tears away. We're going to get y'all the next time. We're going to get y'all the next time. I'm sorry. You don't know how much pleasure I get. I think for the next 4 or 5 days, I was CNN, MSNBC, and just rolling laughing. Just laughing. Bunch of beta men. Ain't going to want somebody to be like them. Let me give y'all a tidbit of history y'all don't know. A lot of people think that the most surveilled black man in America in the 60s was Martin Luther King Jr. by the FBI. Nope, wasn't Martin Luther King. You said, well, there was Malcolm X. Nope, got it wrong again. Was not Malcolm X. Then you ask, who was the most surveilled man in the 1960s during all that turmoil and all the civil rights movement? Who was it? It was Elijah Muhammad from the Nation of Islam. And I heard this on the Netflix documentary called Who Killed Malcolm X? David Garrow said it. It really, it surprised me. Because Elijah Muhammad didn't have a very large movement at that time. It was less than 100,000 guys. Elijah Muhammad was not political. He wasn't telling people not to vote. He wasn't talking about any type of armed type of revolution. He wasn't talking about fighting in the streets. Any of that. He wasn't talking against war in Vietnam. So you ask, why was Elijah Muhammad the most surveilled black man in the United States of America? You know why? Because Elijah Muhammad was teaching black men to be men. His religion was all wrong. But right now, the black apostate church is an effeminate, crying, Marxist, atheist, ignorant, womanly church. And the Nation of Islam still produce men that stand up straight, respectful, don't drink, don't smoke, don't eat pork, obey the law. When you see a Nation of Islam man, you know him on sight because how he carry himself. And people gravitate to that. And the Democratic Party wanted to make sure they were making black men like Martin Luther King Jr. and Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton. And they couldn't let Elijah Muhammad grab hold of black culture and turn them into real warriors. So yeah, they had to destroy Elijah Muhammad, and they basically did. They divided him and Malcolm X. The nation never grew after that because they could not allow black men to become real men. This is why when you see the black men they choose in the Democratic Party, they're all a bunch of punks with knee pads on, crying, slobbering. The ones they elevate, Charlemagne the God, Van Jones, Roland Martin, Jim Clyburn, Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton. Oh man, all of them together. You put them all together, they wouldn't make a third of a man. Be punk heaven. So what's their goal? As I told you before, to make men without chests. Weak men. So they want to talk about toxic masculinity. To be masculine is toxic. Then you can paint me as toxic, player. Yeah. John Wayne Elvis. Jesus. Pulling that gun, shooting the television. So Kamala said, I tell you what we want to do, y'all. I'm hanging out with men in dresses. Castrated men. This is who y'all should be. We'll give you money to castrate yourself. Come on now. You don't need that. You don't need that appendage down there. Cut it off, throw it away. And the men with Kamala said, you right, Miss Kamala. You can have it. And Kamala said, toxic masculinity. That's another reason they lost. Because Trump came up in there and started dealing with the manosphere. Yeah, he started talking to Rogan, he started talking with Tucker, started talking with Patrick Bet-David. And look, and I was down there at Valuetainment with Patrick Bet-David on election night, man. And I was having a ball down there. I was on that stage at 3 o'clock in the morning, me and Patrick Bet-David, Candace Owens. And I remember when Trump won, Patrick was interviewing some guy. And I wasn't paying him much attention because I was looking at the monitor in front of me because we were waiting for Pennsylvania to be called. And we knew that when Pennsylvania was going to be called, the race was over. The race was going to be over. So I'm sitting there watching the monitor, and finally I saw Pennsylvania called. And I got Patrick's attention. I said, they just called Pennsylvania. And Patrick's eyes got that big. And he told Candace Owens to announce it. And Candace says, Trump just won Pennsylvania. And the whole place exploded. It's 3 in the morning. I was so happy, man. But yeah, down at Valuetainment, saw a bunch of great guys down there, bunch of strong men, bunch of macho men, bunch of testosterone-filled men, a bunch of toxic masculine men. Yeah, those are my kind of guys. Enjoyed myself down there with them. Can't wait to go back. So Kamala said masculinity was a bad thing, and the real men started saying, hell no, let the gay men go to the Democratic Party, let the toxic masculine men come over here with us. So come on, brothers. Jump in. The water's warm. Third reason they lost. Barack and Big Mike. Barack and Big Mike decided to come down from their ivory tower on Mount Olympus, around all them rich white folks in the Hamptons. Come down to the ghettos, and Barack said, you gonna vote for the because I told you to. I don't brother look at Barack and say, man, you lost your mind. Hell wrong with you. And they turned around and went off. And then Big Mike get up there and start telling women, look, let me tell you what you do. I know your husbands might not want to vote for Kamala, but when you go to that booth, they don't know who you're going to vote for. So she's going in trying to cause rebellion and division in the household for a fake woman, for a fake black woman. And you said, well, I tell you, these people ain't got no shame. Undermine your husband for Kamala Harris. And people looked at each other and said, man, can you believe this? These are insufferable, elitist, Harvard and Princeton Negroes live in a $12 million mansion that left the ghetto and just abandoned us. And now that they need our vote, they got the nerve to come down here and tell us to vote for this person because they are black and because they are a woman. No other reason. Y'all, that's not just condescending. It is not just racist. It is not just un-American. It is wrong. Just flat out wrong. It doesn't matter that this woman is killing babies. It doesn't matter that this woman is trying to castrate little boys and call them little girls, cut off the breasts of little girls and call them little boys, bring fentanyl across the border, bring a bunch of illegals across the border, take guns from people in war zones, lock children in felony schools. I forget all that. You voted for her because she's black. What type of evil is that? It's the same thing the Democratic Party did between 1865, and now. They tell you to vote on account of race. They used to say N-word, 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 N-word to get poor whites to vote against anybody that wanted to to bring about equality under the law. He's an N-word lover, using race. This old guy in South Carolina by the name of Cotton Ed Smith. Cotton Ed's slogan was keep the cost of cotton up and keep the N-word down. That was actually Cotton Ed's slogan. Rode around on a cotton wagon with a big old sign on it. Keep the cost of cotton up and the N-word down. Tim Scott's got a seat in South Carolina right now. Cotton Ed, the Democrat. Flat out racist. They always been that way. And now black Democrats do the same thing. Barack Obama says, vote on color. Just like the old white Ku Klux Klan Democrats said, vote on color. They are just like their old masters from the beginning, just in blackface. My good friend April Chapman says they're not Jim Crow, they're Jerome Crow. I get it, 100% stole it from you, April. They're Jerome Crow. Horrible people. What is any different between them and the old Ku Klux Klan? Vote on account of race. Well, how about them killing babies? I don't worry about that. He black. What about them? I don't worry about that. What about that? I don't worry about that. Race. That's all you got. And that means you're a loser. And you're a coward. And you're a manipulator. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Vote on account of race. Give me the job because I'm black. That's one of the reasons you lost too. And then they're going to tell you that the border is secure. Now, you know what? Sitting in your hometown, you sitting around seeing Hispanics coming in there using EBT cards. They got $4,000 on them, getting free housing, and you sitting there and they telling you that the border is secure. I remember during the Iraq War, the American troops were invading Baghdad in Iraq. We come in and we took the whole country. Saddam Hussein's government was a totalitarian government. It was a government of liars. They lied to the people all the time. So they wanted to keep the people under control and didn't want them to panic and keep them fighting for them. So Saddam had this propaganda guy that would get up and he'd lie every day. And it got to a point where he stood up one day and said, the Americans have not invaded Baghdad. And you look behind him and there was American troops riding around in American Humvees with American flags on it. Just a line of them right behind him. And he said, the Americans have not invaded Baghdad. And they started calling him Baghdad Bob. Because Baghdad Bob is lying. I mean, right in your face. American soldiers right behind Baghdad Bob. The Americans are not here. That's how the Democrat Party was when it came down to illegal immigration. They were the Baghdad Bobs of illegal immigration. 15, 20 illegals have come across the border. And Mayorkas and Kamala Harris, who was the border czar, this is going to try to say, I wasn't the border czar. Yes, you were. Going to lie and say that the border is secure. And you said, man, there's illegal living right next to one living here, one living here, one living there. You're imagining this. These people are not illegals. You're going to believe me with your lying eyes. And you had enough people that believed them instead of their lying eyes. So their eyes lied to them. The Baghdad Bobs of illegal immigration. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. You go down to the border, just run across the border, come through the barbed wire, fighting police, taking buses all the way up to New York City, sleeping on the street, camping out in people's backyards, killing people, literally killing people, raping women, killing people, raising hell, fighting, got gangs taking over apartment complexes. The border is secure. Another reason that you lost. And then here's another lie, y'all. There's a few lies. Number one, they said, Bidenomics is working. You go try to fill up your car with gas, you can't eat for the rest of the week. You try to go and get a steak, you get your lights turned off. Try to go to the grocery store. The same amount of goods and services that you got under Donald Trump will cost you $1,400 more now, and you haven't got a raise. $1,400 just disappeared. Man, I can remember when $1,400 wasn't just my margins. $1,400 was my whole check for the whole month. Could you imagine living like you got, like, you know, at the end of every pay period, every 2 weeks, you got like $750 left over, right? So that's $1,500. Now you got $100 is all you got for the whole month. Oh, fuck, you can't live like that, man. And a lot of people had to move in with their parents. A lot of people had to get roommates. Most people had to get a second job. And so they talking about Bidenomics, everybody working. You working, but you can't eat. Hell, what good is that? I'm working, I got 4 jobs. Yeah, I sure am working. I'm working, but I ain't eating. Go to the grocery store, spend $100, you take it out in a little bag like this, and man, look at this. And then they're going to tell you Bidenomics is working. If it is working, it's working to take all your money and give it to somebody else. Another lie. And this was my favorite one of all time, y'all. My favorite political lie ever. This will go down in history, I think. And there's been a lot of political lies out there. Oh my goodness, there's been a lot of political lies out there. But the greatest political lie in the history of the world is I'm the first black female candidate for president. Kamala lied about being black. And when Donald Trump called her on it, oh my goodness. Nobody expected it. And I remember when they said Donald Trump was coming up to speak at the Black Journalist Conference. I said, man, what are he coming up there for? You know them jokers going to ambush him. Oh, Lord have mercy, this ain't going to be good. Trump rolls up in there. Oh, bunch of mean, ignorant Democrat Negroes up in there. Want to get Donald Trump. That little black woman from ABC jumped right on it. Asking about Kamala Harris being black. Donald Trump was waiting on it. He said, well, up until 3-4 years ago, she was Indian. Now she's black. I don't know what she's Indian or black. And everybody said, what? It even matter, because I just took for granted she was black. I ain't know nobody was, look, y'all, please forgive me. As long as I've been watching politics, I still didn't think anybody was that stupid. I mean, I've seen some stupid stuff in my life. I've seen some ignorant, messed up stuff in my life. Man, I worked in the penitentiary. You couldn't see anything much more ignorant than the stuff I saw every day. There was fighting, killing, and acting a fool, and just fighting over ignorant stuff, you know? Scuff my shoe, you owe me $2. Knife fight in the middle of the daggum yard because they owe him $2. But Kamala Harris walking out there lying about being black. And her daddy wouldn't even support her because she lied on him about being black. And you got pictures of a red dot, Indian stuff, called her the first Indian member of the Senate. She up there on TV telling folks she Indian. Then when she wants the black vote, because there are more black people, 10 times more black people in America than Indian people, she going to turn black all of a sudden. And Donald Trump called her on it. And buddy, the whole thing tore apart after that. She was done. She was done. So, today, on this day, my greatest political lie in history, greatest political flub in history, forget basketball deplorables and all that kind of mess, forget if I had a son, he looked like Trayvon, forget Barack Obama saying that I believe that marriage is between one man and one woman. That's another, political lie. Y'all still forget all that. Forget George H.W. Bush, read my lips, no new taxes. Forget all them lies. The biggest political lie in history. I'm a black woman running for the Democratic Party nominee for president. I'm Kamala Harris. one in that killed him. Y'all, let's make this plain. America didn't so much vote for Donald Trump. I mean, they did everything they could to kill that man. Impeached him twice. Got about 900 charges on him. I mean, Donald Trump got more charges than R. Kelly and Al Capone and P. Diddy combined. And they charged him with all. I just contorted the law to charge Donald Trump. Tried to kill him twice. One dude got like 5-6 shots off at him, and the other dude had a sniper's nest set up for 12 hours. How you gonna stand up? Man, dude was taking naps in the sniper's nest. Probably getting Uber Eats at the sniper's nest. People just driving, getting him food and everything, sitting there waiting for Donald Trump so he can kill him. Raided his house, told the police, shoot to kill if anybody tried to stop him. FBI rolled in, went into his wife's underwear drawer. I said, all kind of stuff, man. And now they all scared. Is Donald Trump going to have retribution? Now y'all scared. You should have thought about that before y'all started messing with him. Yeah. Oh, they all talking about leaving the country now. They scared to death. And I am just schadenfreude all over the place, enjoying watching you jokers squirm. You dirty, low down, man. He don't need to get y'all for revenge. He need to get y'all so y'all don't hurt America again. That's why he needs to get you. That's why he needs to take care of you. He ain't after revenge. He's after justice. Put this country through what you put it through. Making up lies and using the process as a punishment against the American citizen. Don't matter who he is. I don't care if it's Donald Trump. I don't care if it's a homeless guy on the street. You don't do that here in this country. You can do it to him, you can do it to anybody. And you've done it to many people. If one thing Donald Trump has learned, he learned how crooked the legal system in America is. And what it's done to so many poor Americans that didn't have the ability to fight back. And that's why we got to end them. We got to destroy them. We got to make sure they never rise again. Y'all come at me. Y'all come at Elon Musk. Y'all come at Tucker. Y'all try to take us all out, but we still standing. Y'all came at me. You came at my family. You came at my children. We still standing. Now we coming at you. I ain't through with you by damn sight. We gonna end this. During the Civil War, the Battle of Gettysburg. Y'all, a lot of y'all seen these pictures of Robert E. Lee. White hair and white beard. Y'all just think he's this old grandfather. You'd be wrong about that. Bob Lee was a stone cold killer. A lot of people say he was the greatest military man in history. And Robert E. Lee had planned to come to Washington, D.C. and put a gun to Abraham Lincoln's head and say, either let us have the Confederacy, I'm going to blow your brains out. No, he wasn't waiting for the Union Army. Robert E. Lee was invading the North. And everybody was surprised to look up and see the Southern Confederate Army, the Army of Northern Virginia, in Pittsburgh, in Pennsylvania at Gettysburg. General Meade said, oh, Lord have mercy, if we lose this battle, it's over. The United States of America is gone. Lee is going to come down from Gettysburg and go south right into Washington, D.C. Be there in one day, maybe two. And there'll be no one to stop him. So General George Meade put up a defensive alignment to keep Lee from invading. He wasn't trying to destroy Lee. He was trying to keep Lee from breaking in to Washington, D.C. So for 3 days they fought. Oh, they had a little round top. They were in the cornfield. They were fighting. And on the last day, Robert E. Lee got mad. Robert E. Lee said, I'm going to break him today, on the third day. And he put together this thing called Pickett's Charge. I'm going to send 10,000 men right up through the middle. And I'm going to break through the Union lines. I'm going to kill all of them. And I'm going straight to D.C. They told Robert E. Lee not to get over it. He said, I'm going to do it. So he started bombarding the Union lines. Damn, with all kind of artillery. The greatest artillery bombardment in history, because that's where he was going. But what the Union did was they were low on artillery, so they didn't shoot back. And it made Robert E. Lee and his guys believe that they had took them out. They hadn't. So Lee sent those 10,000 men up there led by George Pickett. They was marching. And right when they got in range, the Union Army started tearing them apart with that artillery. And the Confederates kept coming. The Union kept tearing them apart. They kept coming. They kept hitting them with the artillery and finally hit them with a barrage, and they had to retreat. This is my point. Robert E. Lee retreated, headed back down south to regroup. Abraham Lincoln got on the telegraph line, told General Meade, pursue Robert E. Lee, destroy his army. Meade was scared. He thought Bob Lee was going to turn around and do something to him and come back. Abraham Lincoln sent him another telegram. He sent him another telegram saying, pursue Robert E. Lee, destroy his army. That is a direct order. Meade still didn't go for a whole day. Lincoln sent him another telegram saying, I told you, pursue Robert E. Lee, destroy his army. Meade didn't do it. Lincoln called him back to Washington, D.C. You know what he did? He fired him. Meade said, I have just given you the greatest Union victory of the war. And you firing me? Lincoln said, Robert E. Lee's army exists today. You could have destroyed it, and you didn't. I need me a man that will destroy that army. Not just beat it, destroy it. And then he called Ulysses S. Grant. And Ulysses S. Grant said, no matter what, I'm going to keep on hitting. I'm going to grab him by the neck, and I'll never let him go. And he ran him all the way till he got him down there in Antietam and made him surrender. That's what we need. A Ulysses S. Grant that says we're going to destroy them. Not just beat them, destroy them. Or we're going to just be like Carlito when Billy Blanco from the Bronx comes back because he only wounded him. I say here, and I say now, that where I stand, Vince Everett Ellison, I'm always on the offensive. This is going to be a Roy Jones fight. One will throw 140 punches around. We're always advancing. And we're always going to destroy the enemy. And the Democratic Party, you better believe it is the enemy. They tried to destroy this country 4 times. From 1800 to 1860 to slavery, from the Confederacy to 1860, 1865, Jim Crow, and now, with this woke idiocy Marxism. We just wounded them. Now, let's end it. With that, I want you to go to my website, VinceSpeaksTruth.com. There you'll find all of my wares. You'll find my books, Iron Triangle, 25 Lies, Crime Inc., and my last book, The End of Tolerance. You'll find my great documentary, Will You Go to Hell For Me? But you also find shirts, you'll find caps. You'll find a lot of merchandise I want you to buy to support this network. Y'all, we have changed the world. Literally. We've turned back the greatest political machine in the history of the world. They spent $1 billion, and we beat them with this podcast. Ain't God good? So we ain't finished. Hell, we just getting started, man. So I believe I'm waking you up. Let's continue. And I hope I did you some good today. So join me again next week for another Vince Everett Ellison show.